The Wednesday of Week 3, based on Luke chapter 11, verses 1 to 28, focused on verses 1 to 8. Once Jesus was praying in a particular place. When he had finished, one of the disciples approached. "Teach us to pray, Master," he said, just like John taught his disciples. "When you pray," replied Jesus, "this is what to say. Father, may your name be honored. May your kingdom come. Give us each day our daily bread. Forgive us our sins, since we too forgive all our debtors. And don't put us to the test." "Suppose one of you has a friend," he said, "and you go to him in the middle of the night and say, 'My dear friend, lend me 3 loaves of bread. A friend of mine is on a journey and has arrived at my house, and I have nothing to put in front of him.' He will answer from inside his house, 'Don't make life difficult for me. The door is already shut and my children and I are all in bed. I can't get up and give you anything.' Let me tell you, even if he won't get up and give you anything just because you're his friend, because of your shameless persistence, he will get up and give you whatever you need." "How long do I have to go on praying about it?" I asked my spiritual director. I was faced with a peculiarly intractable problem, and there seemed no obvious way out. I had prayed about it for quite some time, and there seemed to be no change. "You can never tell," he replied with a gentle smile. "Perhaps every day for a month or 2. Or it might be a year or 2. The timing isn't our business. That's up to God. Our task is to go on praying and trust that God will do what he will do in his own time." That was really frustrating advice, but it turned out to be right. It was 2 or 3 months before anything happened, but when it did, it was like a dam bursting. I have no idea why God answers on the 1,000th time a prayer he seems to have ignored for the previous 999 times. One might imagine that it would work more steadily and gradually. But no, from our point of view at least, prayer is like chopping at a tree. For 99 strokes of the axe, the main trunk seems to stand firm. Then, on the 100th stroke, suddenly it keels over. Of course, we know that the previous strokes of the axe were weakening the trunk, even though we couldn't see it. And that's what prayer is like. Not that God needs weakening, but that, for all sorts of other reasons that we can't see, things have to take the time they have to take. And that leads us to the shape of the prayer Jesus gave his disciples. However you pray it, the Lord's Prayer starts precisely with the note that says, "God's way in God's time is best." To say the Lord's Prayer demands that you pay primary attention to God himself. It is his name and his kingdom that we care about above all, not our particular problems. But having said that, the 3 requests that follow, for bread, forgiveness, and safety from being tested to destruction, all place our concerns within that name and kingdom. That's the clue. To pray the Lord's Prayer, then, requires an odd combination: complete humility and complete boldness. Once we get the first right, the second can follow cheerfully. Once God's name and kingdom are the framework of all we do and think, we are free to knock on his door as late at night as we want. Today, try to find some occasions to pray the Lord's Prayer very slowly, as if you were praying it for the first time. Think particularly about the words, "Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done." Imagine what it will be like when God's kingdom is here on earth as it is in heaven. Does that help you to see Jesus' prayer in a new way?